Coach told me I can never miss a Monday. Hey, look, it's never miss a Monday. Hey, look, it's never miss a Monday. Hey, look, it's never miss a Monday. Coach told me I can never miss a Monday. Hey, look, it's never miss a Monday. Hey, look, it's never miss a Monday. Wine on Saturday, wine on Sunday. But Coach told me I can never miss a Monday.
Good evening. Welcome to the Monday Night Live Real Estate Call-In Show with Coach Mike. I'm your host, Rick Davis. If you don't follow me on social media, I invite you to do so at Prime Real Estate Rick. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in residential or commercial real estate anywhere in the great state of Texas, but especially here in our lovely city of Houston, you can reach me directly on Instagram at Prime Real Estate Rick. I want to thank everyone in the audience for tuning in this week. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here with you on Monday Night Live. Man, I want to invite everyone out there. Let's get involved in tonight's show. Take your smartphone, record yourself asking a relevant real estate question, and our super producer, Jay Joseph, may very well choose your question to be answered on tonight's show. So take your smartphone, record yourself, and send it in to the Monday Night Live text line number that you see on the screen. Man, I'm so excited about today. We're so excited about all the questions and all the interaction we have from the audience. But first, let me introduce my co-host. He is not only a highly successful real estate broker, but he is also the co-founder of Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm. I want to thank him so much for carving some time out of his busy Monday nights to sit in with us. And I'd like to introduce CEO Coach Mike, Mr. Michael G. Davis. How you doing?
Rick, what's up, man? Happy Monday.
Hey, man, look here, man. It's Monday Night Live. You ready? I'm ready, man. The audience is excited, man. It's just great to be here, man. What's been going on in your world, Coach Mike?
Hey, man, just pulling things together, bro. You know, I finalized everything with the Houston Association of Realtors. That's why I'm so jacked. Got those classes approved. Now we're going to be offering CE classes, 3-hour CE classes, HAR approved instructor. Come on, man.
What's going on? Man, it's great that, you're just pushing the brand and adding so many educational tools to your tool belt, man. I'm proud to be able to have you sit in with us on Monday Night Live. And these are the things that you pass on and that you pay forward with the agents and the people that you work with over at Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm. So I just know this type of thing is going to be on the education curriculum soon, and you'll be able to mentor and expose so many people to all of these new things that you really worked hard to get put on the agenda. So that's great.
Hey, man, absolutely. I'm super excited. I'll be able to open it up to more agents that need this kind of right now information to help move their businesses forward that they may not be getting at their brokerage firm. So, man, 50,000 plus members of the Houston Association of Realtors are now going to get exposure to what I'm able to provide. So that's awesome.
Man, those at the Houston Association of Realtors are just starting to realize what we here on the Monday Night Live Real Estate Call-In Show already know is that Coach Mike is just totally full of gems and nuggets that he shares with us on a regular basis, man. And tonight's show will be no different. So, Coach Mike, man, look, I'm really excited to see what the audience has lined up for you this week. And if you're ready to go, I'm ready to go, and we can get to the first question.
Let's do it, man. Let's get it going.
Coach Mike, should I hire a property management company to manage my first rental property or attempt to do it myself?
You know what, Rick? I think that's a great question. I don't think you can go wrong either way. Like doing it yourself or hiring a property management company, I don't think you can go wrong either way. I would just think about the different pros and the cons as it relates to either one of them. Obviously, with hiring a property management company, there's going to be a cost associated with it, so that's going to cut into your profits. If you've never done property management before, then sometimes, Rick, it'll be challenging understanding what it is the property management company should be doing, what it is that you should be paying for, get an idea of what the value looks like when vetting different property management companies. I know that'll be challenging. So that may encourage somebody to do it themselves, maybe initially, maybe at least for that first year, so you can get an idea of what it requires when managing your property. You may realize that, hey, look, it's something that I can do. It's not that big of a deal. It doesn't take that much away from my life and my time. And you continue to move forward in that vein, and you'll capitalize as it relates to your profit margin. But you may do it for that year and realize, hey, you know what? I understand what it requires, and this isn't something that I'm open to allowing somebody else to do that, because like somebody told me today, time is the only resource you don't get back. So if you can pay for somebody to redeem your time back, that's awesome as well. So being able to do it the first time will give you that insight and give you that information as it relates to what to expect from a property manager, give you an idea of how much you should pay for the services that they're provided. So it'll open that up. But if you decide to just go out and pay somebody to take care of it for you, and that'll free up your time to go find the next property that you can get under and get it managed for you, hey, that works too, Rick.
Man, that's great advice, Coach Mike, because there are so many opportunities out there for people who were thinking about selling their home, but want to wait until the market gives them the opportunity to maximize on the sales side, that are deciding that leasing that home out on maybe the 6-month to a 12-month basis would work best for their long-term goals. And those are exactly the type of decisions so many members of our audience are wrestling with this very moment. So, Coach Mike, as far as property management services, is there any advice that you can give those in our audience as far as what they would be looking at as far as the expense incurred with hiring a property management company?
A lot of property managers, they typically range around the 10% mark, meaning 10% of whatever your rent is. There are some, I know at one point there was some flat fee property management companies. But when I most recently looked for them, it looks like they've adjusted their prices as well. So looks like things are moving back towards the that model of about 10%. So what that means is if you're renting it out for say $150, $1,500, I don't know, $150, $1,500 a month, then that payment to the property management company is going to be about $150 of that money. And there are some property management companies where they'll still stick to that 10% model, Rick, but they'll put a floor and a ceiling on it, right? So they'll say, 10%, no more than 200, 10%, no less than 100, right? So it just falls within that floor and that ceiling, but it's still a percentage.
No, that's great. That's great, Coach Mike, because for those in our audience who haven't had the opportunity to self-manage or even hire out that property management piece of their puzzle, it's great for them to have at least a foundational idea of what is market rate, what they can expect, and how to go about budgeting funds out for that necessary service. So, man, thank you so much, Coach Mike, because it's great that we have members of our audience that have this type of thing going on in their mind, and have these type of decisions on the table, and that they feel comfortable coming to Monday Night Live Real Estate Call-In Show to get some advice on the subject. So that's outstanding.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and I agree with you, Rick. It's a right now conversation, because as the market is adjusting and things are squeezing, it is driving more people to have to consider renting their house out, as well as individuals who are wanting to buy have to pivot temporarily to leasing. So it looks like we may see a little uptick of that activity. So this is great information for us to be sharing today.
Hey, Coach Mike, we had a follow-up question in the chat that pertains to what we're currently discussing. Ms. Laverne Moore would like to know, what should someone expect monthly from a property management company for the money that you invest in hiring them?
As far as, I guess, the services that they provide.
Exactly.
So, obviously they're going to pick up the rent, right? So they're their middleman in between you as the landlord and your tenant, which is always good to have that buffer piece. Sometimes when tenants get super familiar with their landlord, then they get comfortable as far as what they ask and how they behave as it relates to the property. So having that middle person in there really helps maintain that professional relationship, that business relationship. They also, if there are some repairs or things that need to be done with the home, they'll quarterback and they'll coordinate that. They'll get the contractors, pick the contractors, vet them. They'll facilitate any repairs and how that translates, answer any questions. So, obviously there are other services. There are some property managers that they'll handle the accounting as it relates for your particular property and the money coming in versus the money going out as far as expenses. Some of them will handle that as well. So they offer different services. Each property management company will probably have their suite of services that they provide. So when you're out there, you're vetting them and you're looking for which one is the best fit for you. Again, which is another reason why you may want to self-manage for that first year so you can get an idea of what types of services would make sense for you to outsource and pay for so you can redeem your time back.
Man, that's the great thing that makes this particular show on Monday night so fulfilling is that we're able to get that real-time communication with our audience. So big, huge shout out to Ms. Moore. Big, huge shout out to you, Coach Mike. And I want to invite everyone, keep being involved. Keep sending in those questions because even though those that are checking us out live on Facebook, YouTube, may not truly believe it, we are interacting in real time. So if the conversation stimulates a thought or a question, don't hesitate. Don't be shy. Get involved. Shoot that out to Coach Mike, man, because that's why we're here. This just is totally the highlight of our Monday evenings. And, man, it just totally gets our juices flowing, Coach Mike. So great job with question number 1. And let's see what question number 2 has to offer.
Let's do it.
Coach Mike, what are some key metrics to track in order to evaluate the performance of my real estate business?
Okay. Evaluate the performance of my real estate business. The one, Rick, that I usually revert to is production, right? And the reason that I revert back to production, number one, it's a metric that you can obviously measure year over year, right? So if you're doing more production the next year, then you can see growth, right? The challenge with transactions, because there's a lot of people that they measure transaction, meaning how many transactions did they do? Well, the way we typically get paid, we don't get paid per transaction. We get paid as a percentage base. So, Rick, if I track transactions, and I know a lot of people feel more comfortable tracking transactions. So if that's what you're choosing to track, do it, right? Again, this is that CEO Coach's Mike opinion. This is what I encourage in my brokerage firm and to my agents. And this is why. I can technically do more transactions, but make less money if my production is lower, right? I mean, if I do one transaction and it's $500,000, I could do $350,000 transactions and I've made less money, but I've tripled, Rick, the amount of work that I've actually done, going from 1 transaction to 3. So to push for more transactions, yes, you can do it, but it can not tell the whole story of your business if your production is not increasing. So that's why I encourage people to, because realistically, Rick, once you really get into your groove, you'll start realizing I could do less transactions at a higher price point and make more money, right? And that's a great cycle to get yourself caught into, to where you're making more money doing less transactions. So in my opinion, I think that's a huge key metric to look at. We'll call that a lagging indicator, right? Now, this is what I feel is the most critical leading indicator, though, Rick. And the most critical leading indicator is how many real estate conversations are you having on a daily basis, right? Because the more real estate conversations that you're having on a daily basis is going to be there to set you up to where not only will you be able to do more transactions, help more people, but you will get more of an idea of where what's people's purchasing power. You may put yourself in a position to where you can increase your selling number, your selling amount by having those real estate conversations. So it helps both sides of the spectrum. So I would really be tracking how many real estate conversations am I having every day, every week, every month, and then get an idea of how is that kind of activity translating to the amount of leads that I'm attracting, right? How many leads am I attracting? So then I would look at that metric as well, because that's going to give you a great idea, Rick, of if you're doing enough activity or if you're not on a daily basis, seeing how much business you're attracting, right? And then we'll be tweaking it, right? We'll be looking at what are you saying to people? What's your dialogue? What's your script that you're using? The same thing when we start talking about vetting people, right? When we start talking about converting those leads to clients, right? We'll look at that as well. How many people are we cultivating, meaning that's in our funnel? So these are all metrics that you can measure, right? But again, the most critical of them is how many real estate conversations you tracking that daily. How many are you having on a daily basis?
The great thing about that advice, Coach Mike, is that by tracking those real estate conversations, you truly get an idea that with every real estate conversation, you're able to unearth if that person is open to buying, selling, investing, or if they would work best as a referral partner. Right. I think that's one of the things that in our lead generation and marketing that a lot of real estate professionals tend to undervalue is asking someone to be a referral partner.
Right.
Because if someone is referring you out to colleagues, family, friends, at the minimum, you know you're at the front of their mind for when they're ready to buy, sell, or invest. Absolutely. So it works out twofold. So everyone in the audience, take Coach Mike's advice. Key metric you want to start to measure is how many real estate conversations am I having on a daily basis? Start off in the morning at the coffee shop and go all the way through that evening when you're picking the kids up from baseball practice.
Absolutely.
Because if you can get those 3 conversations in on a daily basis, you'll start to see how that's affecting your production and your transaction number.
Absolutely. No, it works, man. This isn't the stuff that I'm making up. That stuff adds up. You do 3 to 5 a day. I mean, that's 21. 12. 21 to 35 a week, right? You know what I'm saying? And you keep multiplying that. You multiply that by 4, man. We're talking about 60 to 90 conversations on a monthly basis, man. That'll just explode your business.
Absolutely. I agree totally, man. Once again, great advice, man. I urge everyone in the audience, if you didn't get a chance to take your notes and you behind, when we debut this episode, watch it again, get to this section and take that advice, write it down and add it to your tool belt, because having those real estate conversations is how you can promote yourself on a daily basis. And like you say, Coach Mike, you need to be doing real estate things every day. Every day. Yo, that was outstanding, Coach Mike. Let's check out our third question from the audience for this week.
Absolutely.
Coach Mike, how can I improve my negotiation skills to successfully close more deals and increase my commission earnings?
Hey, so here's the thing about negotiation, right? And my perspective may be a little different than the perspectives of some people, right? For me, a negotiation, Rick, is not about winning, right? Right? They say successfully close. So for me, it's you're trying to win the negotiation, right? In reality, Rick, you're successful in a negotiation when you get agreement. Mm-hmm. That's all we're looking for. We're looking for agreement. We're not looking to win. We're looking to come up with something that both, regardless of who you're representing, right? You could be representing a buyer or you could be representing a seller. But your goal is to work with the other side or work with whoever we need to work with for us to come up with something that everyone can agree to, right? And the reality, Rick, sometimes in negotiations, you can have somebody working towards that end and you can literally have somebody working away from that end. And as a skilled negotiator, you're going to have to learn how to navigate those waters. The reality when it comes to a successful negotiator is someone that knows how to traverse and navigate whatever waters that are thrown at them to still put everyone in the best situation where we can get agreement. Now, here's the reality, Rick. You don't 100% control that. You don't 100% control agreement as a negotiator. The reason is because you don't control people. It takes people to agree, right? And you can't control people. Well, I don't know nobody that can control people. There may be some people that think they can control people.
Right.
I don't know nobody that can really control anybody, right? So you can't control anybody. But as a negotiator, what you can become more skilled on, you can become more skilled on influence, right? You can become more skilled on persuasion. And those are great skills to have to employ when you're dealing with negotiation. So in looking to have more successful closing and how can you improve it, I would really look into understanding how to influence, right? Dale Carnegie wrote a book. A lot of us have read it, How to Win Friends and Influence People, right? It's a great book that talks about influence, right? It talks about how to persuade and really, empathy, right? Is the secret sauce. Like getting more skilled in empathy, understanding people. The best way to move people in a particular direction is to first understand where they're trying to go. Right. These are those skills, Rick, that are going to increase anybody's success rate as it relates to getting agreement, which is what negotiation is all about. And as you get more agreement in your business, obviously, that's going to increase more commissionable earnings.
That's outstanding, man. It's really cool how those that tune into the Monday Night Live Real Estate Call-In Show have an opportunity to not only get questions answered, but also have you explain some of the nuance and some of the more complicated issues and complicated strategies that real estate professionals have to use on a regular basis when assisting people who are buying, selling, and investing. And that negotiating and helping to everyone find that common win-win is something that over time and experience, you'll start to, like you say, be able to exert influence in certain areas to help human beings come to a consensus where everyone can see that win-win. So that is absolutely cool. One thing, Coach Mike, and is this something, the negotiation skills, is that something that we offer as like a training over at Brooks and Davis? Is that something that you've trained about or talked to other people before? Or should they just reach out to you for private mentorship and consultation when it comes to those who want a little bit more detail in how you train and work with your agents over at Brooks and Davis?
No, absolutely. That's a great question, Rick. So I've actually done a master class when it came to negotiation. So people can go to the Brooks and Davis Brooks and Davis YouTube channel and look for our playlist at CEO Coach Mike Masterclass on negotiations, where I did a detailed rundown of the book Never Split the Difference, which is a phenomenal negotiations book by Chris Voss. And you can see, me kind of walk through a lot of the strategies that he talks about when it comes to negotiation and improving your skill set. So that's a great place to start. And then if they want, obviously, Rick, they want more engagement, more of a hands-on approach as it relates to this subject, I absolutely coach them either with, the World Changers Table opportunity that we do weekly or on a one-on-one basis.
Absolutely, man. So definitely take advantage, reach out, schedule something with Coach Mike, follow him on Instagram, go and check him out on YouTube, go to the Brooks and Davis Real Estate channel on YouTube, catch him on some of those past trainings, and refocus yourself as far as being able to take in like a sponge the new education, some of the new things and those new topics that are now prevalent in the real estate industry. Coach Mike, we're at the part of the show where I like to give you the opportunity to speak to our audience about what they can expect this week on BND TV, what type of activities, programs, networking things that are going on in Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm, and just what's going on just in general in the world of Coach Mike.
No, you know what? I love that, Rick. I always love that opportunity for us to share with our audience what we have going on. So, yeah, we got another great week of BND TV, our digital programming that we do on a weekly basis, our 4 shows, with Monday Night Live being one of our shows. But tomorrow we're going to be doing the Real to Life podcast. I have our super producer is going to be on, Miss J. Joseph, the tech tutor. So she's going to be talking about a phenomenal service that she provides that I feel many real estate professionals need access to as it relates to navigating this digital space, this digital marketing space, this technology space. She's very well versed in that. So we're going to be hearing her story on tomorrow at 12:30, as well as you all can learn more about how you can get connected to the tech tutor. So you will not be let down. And then also tomorrow, we're going to be doing our Real Estate Happy Hour Live, which is a great show that we do, lighthearted show, an opportunity for our agents to, take a break in the day, right? Take a break in the day. Come have some libations with us. We're going to be in the high rise. LaShavia's going to be there. Margaret's going to be there. Cedric's going to be there. Laverne's going to be there. I'm going to be there. And, it's just some shop talk for realtors, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like when you go get your hair cut or you go get your hair done before it's your turn, before you get in the chair, right? Then you just be sitting there having those random conversations. So that's what it's all about. Real estate professionals talking about randomness. But it's a great show. We're going to have a good time. That's going to be tomorrow at 2:30. And then Wednesday, we want to shout out to my friend Taylor Wardenhofer with Disruption Nation, right? He just started this new group. They have a podcast. They have a lot of marketing opportunities for real estate professionals. But something else that they do is their Masterclass Houston. So he's going to be doing that this Wednesday at 9:00 at the Cadillac Bar. That's in Washington. I'm going to be there, as well as our co-founder, Mr. Larry W. Brooks, going to be there at 9:00. So make sure you guys go to masterclasshouston.com to register your spot. It is going to sell out. It's just a nominal fee, but it's going to be great information, and you get great access to some heavy hitters in this business as a way for you to, again, increase your skill set and become a better real estate professional. So that's going to be this Wednesday at 9:00. Shout out to Taylor. Mm-hmm. All right. And then also on Wednesday, we're going to be doing our mastermind series, listing best practices, right? So we have an all-star lineup of some of the top agents in Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm. And they are going to be talking about how to do a multitude of things as it relates to improving your success with listings, right? Increasing attention to your listings. They're going to give some strategies, right, that speaks to how you can trigger interaction with your brand, as well as talk about some proven methods that are really provide more awareness to your seller clients, as well as show you how you can leverage these properties to increase and enhance your business. So again, got an all-star panel of ladies that are going to be talking about listing best practices. So you don't want to miss that. That's going to be on Wednesday, beginning at 12:00. It is in person as well as online, but you got to make sure you go to www.brooksandavis.com so you can reserve your spot and get access to the login information. So that's going to be on this Wednesday at 12:00. All right. Also, this Wednesday, we're doing our new agent orientation. So for all of our brand new agents that are coming in, we don't want you to feel the pain of, that pain of feeling lost, right? We know, Rick, when you get with a new company or you get with a new anything, you don't know what's going on. You don't know anybody. And we want to help you avoid that. So our orientation that we do twice a month, they get an opportunity to meet me. They get an opportunity to meet some of the other leaders of the organization. We're going to talk through how we get you set up with your business cards, how we get you set up with the mentoring and the coaching, right? You're going to learn about the culture of Brooks and Davis. You're going to learn about our vision and our goals. So you're going to be laid out with everything. So by the time you walk out of orientation, you're going to be ready to go. You're going to be fired up. You're going to be set up right? That's what new member orientation is all about. So that's going to be on Wednesday at 2:00. We're going to be doing our new member orientation. And then on Thursday, definitely got to shout out HAR, right? One of the newest approved instructors that's going to be teaching the Houston Association of Realtors. So I definitely want to put out, there's a lot of great activities that HAR does. So this Thursday, they're actually going to be doing as a part of their housing attainability program, right? We want homeownership to be more attainable to others. They're doing a webinar series. So that's going to be this Thursday at 12:00 from 12 to 1:30. To reserve your spot for that, you have to go to har.com/edu. You'll also be able to see all the other classes. You might see SEO Coach Mike's class, right? When you go to har.com/CDU. But definitely this Thursday at HAR at 12:00, HR is going to be doing that webinar series, opening doors to home ownership. All right. And then also Thursday, Rick, I know you all are doing the Prime Real Estate Network, which is, again, one of our shows, our digital shows, a part of BND TV. Rick, you want to tell them about the guests that you guys have coming up for this Thursday?
You look, man, I want to give a big, huge shout out to the Texas Real Estate King, Mr. Larry W. Brooks. He's my co-host on Thursdays with the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. They debut every Friday morning at 8 a.m. on our YouTube channel. Look, if you haven't had the opportunity to check out the Prime Real Estate Network, go to the YouTube channel right after this show, because last week's episode, we talked about how those professionals that need a reputable credit repair specialist as part of their power team, we had that person on our show last week as a guest. It was Ms. Taquana Clark of Your Credit Lift Incorporated. She did a great job of talking about the benefits of credit repair, how it unlocks your opportunity to create general wealth through real estate. So look, if you haven't been to the Prime Real Estate Network channel, check us out. Check out last week's episode. Learn from Ms. Taquana Clark how credit repair can change not only the lives of your clients, but put them in a position to create generational wealth for their family now and into the future.
Awesome, man. Yeah. Again, I echo what Rick says. You definitely need to be engaging with the Prime Real Estate Network. They're interviewing some phenomenal and amazing people that have great stories and great insight that you can definitely learn and grow from. So you do not want to miss a show. All right. Also on Thursday, we're doing a builder's field trip. We're going to be going down to Rodeo Palms, right in Manville, looking at some newly constructed homes that are ready for sale. It's always the builder field trips that we do weekly are great opportunities to go have real estate conversations, right? With sales counselors, with prospective people that are driving those areas that are not represented. Also, it's a way to get educated on what are the promotions that the builder has, what are the properties that the builder has. So now you can begin leveraging that information on your social media, on your digital platforms as a way to attract business, to attract conversations about those things. So you do not have to be a member of Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm to participate in anything that we're doing, right? So all you have to do is go to www.brooksanddavis.com so you can reserve your spot. We know that you want to participate, and we make sure that you get the proper information. So that's what we have going on for this week. Now, we have some things that are coming up, some other events that are coming up. Our pre-home buyer session, which is going to be April 15th. That's going to be coming up, so save the date. Again, if you're thinking about buying a home, this one right here, we're going to be in partnership with U.S. Bank as well as the Houston Housing Authority. So, a lot of people, Rick, don't realize that if they have a housing voucher, that the Houston Housing Authority, also known as Section 8, they actually have a program, a home sustainability program, where they help their members, and that person could still use their voucher to pay for their mortgage. So every quarter, we like to highlight what Houston Housing has to offer. That's just one of the non-traditionals. There's a number of non-traditional resources that we have access to at Brooks & Davis, and we like to educate the consumer base on those things. So, again, it'll be April 15th, so you got a little time, but make sure you register. Again, reserve your spot. This is virtual. This is in person. But we want to make sure that we get you the right information. So we're going to be doing that. Then also what's coming up, another organization that we're members of, the Houston Black Real Estate Association, the Young Realtors Division. So on April 13th at the Warwick, they're going to be having an unforgettable evening of networking, drinks, food, and fun. So you do not want to miss, Rick. They do not want to miss, man. They're going to be able to mingle with over 75 of Houston's top real estate professionals, build some connections and strengthen some existing relationships. I mean, it's just a great opportunity for them to expand, for you to expand your network, grow your business in a very relaxed and enjoyable atmosphere. Matter of fact, to sweeten the pot, Rick, every attendee is going to be able to receive 2 drink tickets, but they must register. So no walk-ins for you to get the drink ticket. You got an RSVP, and then when you show up, you get your drink tickets.
That's love.
That's going to be happening on April 13th. Look, it's going to be the biggest real estate mixer of quarter one. Let's go. April 13th. Don't miss that. All right. And then also we have the Houston Black Real Estate Association Gala coming up, right? Again, we're estimating over 700 attendees for this gala, right? I'm talking about the elite of the elite are going to be in this building. These are the people that you want to rub elbows with. So that's going to be April 22nd, right? I'm going to be there. There are, obviously ticket opportunities where you can purchase a ticket. If you want to have a vendor table, there's opportunity there as well. If you want to have an ad in the Souvenir Journal, you can do that as well for you to expose yourself to these individuals, right? Or like I said, just get you a ticket so you can make sure that you're in the building, because with the level of energy that's going to be in that building, with the people, the type, the quality of professionals that's going to be in that building, you want to be there. Trust me. So that's April 22nd, HBREA. All right. And then finally, I always like to, remind people about our group coaching and our commitment to coaching and support. Every day of the week, our agents have an opportunity to do one-on-one group coaching, to do group coaching with that CEO, Coach Mike. And I love just reminding people about that. I mean, it just falls right in line with our intention when it comes to support, right? Whether that's on a one-on-one basis or as a group. Also, it's my third time saying it today, Rick. HAR, the newest HAR presenter. It's a reason for that, right? Because I've created these curriculum. So now there's opportunities for people to book at CEO Coach Mike, right? For me to come, I have these 4 amazing topics that I've compiled that now, I can come teach you. And, we're not even worried about the CE credit, but if you want CE credit, now there's that opportunity as well. So you can go to michaelgdavis.com/bookings and you can learn more about that opportunity. You can set up the booking. You can get in contact with us. You can learn from others how their lives have been transformed. So all of that can be seen at michaelgdavis.com/bookings. And then finally, I want to invite all of you to the World Changers table. I brought it up briefly a little earlier. Really, the World Changers table is an opportunity to do group coaching with CEO Coach Mike. It's an affordable coaching option, right? You have some specific problems that you can't solve that you're working through, right? A lot of the questions that were answered here today, Rick, well, there are some additional steps that need to take place if you're going to change, right? If you're going to see momentum moving in the opposite direction. So the information is one thing, but there's more. And that's where the World Changers table comes in, to where we can spend an hour together and we can truly work through the things that are holding your business back from being able to realize the results that you know that you're capable of realizing. So we do that every Tuesday. Again, go to michaelgdavis.com/WCT. You'll learn more about it. You're able to book your seat, right? You're able to hear people's testimonies about how their lives have been transformed by being connected to at CEO Coach Mike. And like I said before, coaching can be extremely expensive. This is an affordable option, no contracts, but that you can really start getting serious about making some changes in your business with the proper guidance and information. So that's what we got coming down the pipeline, Rick. I know it's a lot, but hey, we're intentional about it.
Hey man, absolutely, man, because that's one of the foundational pieces over at Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm is not only the education, but the inspiration and motivation. So you got all those bases covered this week, man. Big, huge shout out to you and everyone over there at Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm. And I want to urge everyone in our audience, dial in, tap in, follow, like, subscribe. Be a part of the Brooks and Davis family, be a part of the culture, and take advantage of all the mentorship and educational opportunities, man. Big shout out to you, Coach Mike, man, because you know the hardest working man in real estate, super duper busy at all times. So look, man, anything that you'd like to say in closing before we sign off this week on the Monday Night Live Real Estate Call-In Show?
No, man. You know what? I want to just encourage people. Follow me on Instagram. I'm working on some things where I'm going to do a little bit more live engagement on Instagram. So definitely be on the lookout. If you're not following me, make sure you do it so you can capture that engagement as well.
Absolutely. And I want to give a big, huge shout out to everyone in our audience that attended the Prime Real Estate Rockstar Party. Man, we had a great time. Big, huge shout out to everybody over at Hinky and Pilot. Big, huge shout out to everybody over at InTheMix.com. If you weren't able to attend this Prime Real Estate Rockstar Party, don't fret. You'll have another opportunity in the second quarter. So be on the lookout, man. This is something that we want to do on a regular basis to give back to our audience, unite the Monday Night Live audience with the Prime Real Estate Network audience, man, get us all in the same building and make it all happen. So on behalf of myself, Rick Davis, and CEO Coach Mike, Mr. Michael G. Davis, I want to thank everyone in the audience for checking us out. And until the next Monday Night Live Real Estate Call-In Show, everyone out there, please be safe and be blessed.